Hi, we're the SoapGirls, and you're listening to Talking About Rock.
All right, today's guests began their music career as child street performers at ages of 8 and 9 in South Africa, which began as an endeavor to raise funds for various neonatal wards, hospitals, by singing and selling soap at the local wharf. Now the SoapGirls are an alternative rock band, sisters born a year apart, and their natural charisma and musical intuition have caught the attention of audiences and industry professionals alike. Over the years, the SoapGirls have forged their do-it-yourself path through the rock landscape. Their latest single, Running, is streaming now. Let's welcome Mie and Mie from the SoapGirls. Ladies, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and thank you very much for having us.
Definitely. So you both are truly, innovative and original force, and both, started at such a young age.
Hey, well, thank you.
I think that
You're born to do things. Yeah.
like entertaining or making people feel something has always been something that we love doing from a young age. Yeah.
I think, when you're drawn to something naturally, I think it's something no one can, give you that love or passion for art or creating something. It's in you.
Yeah, originally I was reading you were a dance pop act signed with Universal Music Group. You had a hit album in 2011 with Experience, right? Four hit singles in South Africa, and appearances on TV shows, but really not happy with no creative control at that point, right?
Yeah, we had actually done rock music.
Yeah,
we'd done rock music before that, and when we got signed, we thought
it was on the basis of our rock musical. That's what we wanted to do, and they unfortunately had a completely different idea in mind.
So their vision was to a South Africa's version of maybe Lady Gaga or something.
Miley Cyrus or something.
They were so hell bent on making us this pop duo instead of us being able to have any kind of expression in our music and art. It was so frustrating. But we were kids and we thought, you know what, we don't have the budget, so this is going to be so awesome, and it will be a stepping stone for us.
Yeah. Definitely. A lot of bands, when they first start out, that's kind of what happens, and they have to, follow whatever PR plan or whatever the record company puts together for them, and sees where they can put them in, what box and what mold they think they should fit in, right? So, but once you guys got out of that contract, you went to New York City, released 2 singles, I think, Lie to Me and Looking for Love, and again you were offered a record deal, but this time you turned it down.
We did. So what happened was we were so frustrated being stuck in a contract with the record label. They wouldn't let go of us, and they weren't doing anything for us, and it was just annoying.
It's very frustrating and disheartening because you want to do
so much, but you can't,
because it's all dependent on what they say. So
what you say, what you wear, what you sing, it was all controlled. So
fortunately we got out of that contract, and then somebody from America they were like, hey, come to this studio and let's record your music.
So we were recording all our own original music, brought our guitar and everything, and we were so excited. But then they did exactly what we just left. They tried to make a whole Euro dance pop type thing, and we were
they completely, it's it was live guitars, and then when they played it back, it's where are the guitars?
Yeah, it was very frustrating, and we just saw what was going to happen again, and we were like, nah, it's not a first rodeo now. Hell no.
Right. And that's what a lot of these, record companies do. They see what's popular, what's working, and they try to, like I said, put people in a box or create this checklist of items to say, okay, this is what we're going to do with you. This is how we're going to market you. This is how we're going to sell you. So they know they can get their return right away, because that's what's popular, right? That's what they're looking for, is just to get their return on it. But you guys have been releasing singles and albums since 2014, self-released, which I thought was amazing, definitely.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you guys are calling it kind of revolt rock. That's a point I've read also, right?
Yeah, it's so tricky. We both have such diverse tastes in music, and we don't ever create with a sound in mind. It just happens organically. So it's frustrating when people say, well, what is your music? And it's like, well, there are elements of all genres in it. So it's, I don't know, it's complicated to explain. So we just said, let's make a new label, Revolt Rock. It will revolutionize you to get up and live your freaking life. But yeah, for the most part, it is rock music. But we both have various influences. So we both love grunge music and alternative rock, but I prefer heavier music.
I prefer more like melodic kind of music, but we marry them both together. And I think it draws elements from a little bit of everything.
So yeah, it's its own sound, I guess.
Yeah, so going a little bit through the tour history for you. In 2015, the band took up an offer to tour the UK, quickly finishing your debut album as a punk band called Calls for Rebellion, I think was the debut album, right? Is that correct?
Yes. Do you know something funny? We actually recorded that album in about 16 hours.
Yeah. So 16 songs in 16 hours.
I think maybe like a day and a half. I'm gonna give
I think it was a day.
a day. It was something ridiculous. We didn't have the budget for studio time, and
So just get in
and we needed an album for the tour. So we were like, oh shit, we have so many songs, but let's do it. And then yeah.
Yeah, I
And I
thought that was
remember-
amazing. Definitely getting all that done right before the tour, so you have something to songs to do on tour, a product to sell on tour. I thought that was an amazing idea, definitely. And you guys are always touring. 2016, you were spent on the Disturbed tour of the UK and Europe. You had your single "Bad Bitch" also out, which was amazing. And then in
thank
2017, you got Society Rejects album came out for you.
Yeah.
All right, and then what else do we have here going for you? So we're just going to go through the timeline. 2018, you're on the Stinks Like a Punk tour of the UK. Another
Like
one.
punk, yeah.
2019, Sniff My Strap tour.
You
which
know,
was,
that-
It sounds dodgy. Okay, it sounds really
turning-
bad.
That turning was a very bad idea.
Nothing nefarious.
People
Okay.
that came up with these weird ideas as to why it was called, and we were like, no, it's not what you think it is. It was literally because when you're on tour and you play show night after night, your guitar strap, mine, I don't know why, like, I don't know, maybe my body was very acidic at the time, but that,
Yo.
no, it's like,
Sorry.
it smelled like, it smelled like apple cider vinegar. And I would be like on stage, and I was like, whoa, damn,
It was
that's
the worst
nice.
thing ever.
And I'd go through, I was like, whoa, does this smell bad? And then like show them like,
to punish fans should be like, hey,
snip my strap. And then
then
so then we were like, okay, let's call it that as a joke. And what ended up happening was people would steal my guitar strap like after every show.
That's
And
annoying.
I was like, oh no. Because
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, steal my strap."
Yeah.
right. It's something you kind of need. But yeah, that's what I thought of when I read that. I didn't think of something controversial, but I'm sure a lot of your fans do, and I'm sure you get a lot of, shall we say, odd and strange fan mail, most likely, I'm sure, correct?
Sometimes, yeah,
Sometimes
we've
I'm
seen
like-
some strange stuff, but
Or sometimes even worse is like you read a comment, I'm like, do they actually know that people can see what they're
But
writing?
you know what I've learned? It's no reflection on me. I mean, initially I would get so embarrassed. I'd be like, oh my God, what the hell? But then it's like,
No,
that
that's all on you,
to
bud.
own. They need to
Yeah.
own that. That is fucked up.
That's all
I'm
you.
sorry to swear. Like that's that. Like
Now you
own
can
that.
say what you want. This is the internet. We can say whatever the hell we want.
Awesome.
So just to
Yeah.
follow up some on your tours, we'll get a little bit more up to date. So in November 2025, the band supported Wednesday 13 for 6 dates. Any memories of any of those shows or anything you'd like to share with the audience?
It was cool. I mean, we hadn't done any support slots since Flip, like the early days, so it was different, but it was interesting. I like the fan base, like how can I say that they're a community as well.
Yeah.
You see it really reflected in how they treat their fans as well. That people maybe that are, I would say, outsiders also, they feel like, I don't know, they have a connection. So I respect that. I think that was really cool.
The one thing that did make me laugh was, so obviously, so you play your set, your time, and then you have to like get off stage really quickly, right? Now
Right.
we don't we don't, when we tour, it's literally just DIY. So like loading in, I'm carrying like heavy amps with whoever's willing to help me.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, how the hell am I going to carry this big thing quickly by myself? In like, you've just done a show and you're in massive like stage heels and you're carrying this big like amp head and the cab. And I'm
like, Peter, you need to get upstairs.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys get like 10, 15 minutes usually to pull your stuff, and then they got to set up the next act.
It was like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You're just like, oh shit.
Yeah. So that part maybe
You're like, damn, okay.
I was not a fan of like.
It just made me like realize like, damn, we really are DIY.
Yeah, because people have like a whole crew, and you're like yeah.
They're like, so where's the crew? And we're like,
yeah,
No, we're the crew. Yeah. That's how it is for a lot of, support bands and opening bands. You got to do that. You got to do everything yourself. You got to move your equipment yourself, put it on stage. And that's kind of what happens. So a question for each of you. What do you would say is the biggest challenge during touring? You've done a lot of that. And also, what's the difference between, the U.S. tours, would you say, and maybe, UK tours or more closer to home, South Africa? What do you think of the differences?
I'll say it after you go first.
Okay. I can tell you like the biggest, what was the first question? The hardest thing, the most difficult thing, I think is like coming from South Africa and then like trying to get into other countries because, especially now with how the world is changing, I would say it's becoming more and more difficult for, especially bands coming from, let's say, like third world countries to tour overseas. So I'd say that's definitely like a big issue. Yeah.
Right. A big hurdle, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm always envious of bands that are from America. I'm like, damn, you're so lucky because you can just like stay here and just like tour flat out. That's like so cool. But for us, it's planning ahead and then laws change and it's like, oh my God, we just like have this visa and then now it's like moved and then it's costs more and more and touring is like crazier trying to get
my answer to that is, and then I know there's a second part to the question, but my answer, just while I have it in my head, is really dodgy booking agencies and people that don't do the job that they promised to do. So we've had incidences where it's a massive, like a really well-known booking agency who approaches us and they promise that the tour dates will be forthcoming or like soon. So we're telling everyone, woo, we're getting all excited.
And they give it to
right. And you're blocking out that time. You're not booking anything for that time.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you find out, well,
like a week before you're supposed to leave.
Well,
some tour date.
Tour hasn't even been booked, and you're like, oh my God. But we're DIY, so no matter what, we will always make a plan. But that's been quite frustrating. So now we're working with a really good company, and we're really happy because, it takes
especially if you're not in, like, let's say America's huge, like your country is massive.
Yeah.
Each state is its own little mini country.
And then another tricky one is also working and finding good or really decent, never mind talented, but just decent session drummers. So that
last tour,
we worked with 13 different ones. We found some extraordinary individuals. It's just again because of visa issues, ones that we normally work with in the past were unable to come on the tour. So we had some bad
experiences. We were like, damn.
Wow. Someone should have done a documentary on it. It was
it was like Spinal Tap.
It was like mad. So that's a challenge. And I think like you said about entering to different countries has become more difficult, but yeah.
Yeah. What would you say the difference is between the fan reaction between when you're like in the US and touring out of US? How do you feel the audiences respond?
Okay, you go first. I'll go.
So each country is very different. Like I can tell you for a fact, Swiss audiences.
Don't diss them. I know what you're gonna say. Oh my
Swiss
God.
audiences are very like.
They're the most dead audience you can ever play for. I'm sorry. Okay, I said don't diss them. I just did.
But they are. I'm sorry.
They're really awesome after the show.
And they're like, wow, this was a great show. And then you're like, what?
But they just stand there and pay attention, like totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, and they're enjoying it. First, it was alarming, and I always thought it was just us. But I've asked other bands, and it's not that. It's just how
I don't like
they
it.
are.
I
It's
like
just
to
their
see.
society, how they act. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure some parts like the French and the German part are different, but yeah, for the most part, I would say it's probably the most stiff audience you can ever have.
American audiences are cool because you never know what you're gonna get.
They're so cool. Like, the American fans are also so crazy kind. They will drive like
so far.
It's actually insane.
To like every single show. And also I will say American, even not even just fans, but American people in general are very hospitable. And I always say this, I don't think you could ever be lonely in America because you could go anywhere and a stranger will strike up a conversation with you. And they're very friendly.
And I will say this about American fans, they're unafraid to like support a band, like to get out and get dressed up, and they really go all out, which we really appreciate. The UK as well, we have some amazing diehard fans, also just really cool. Some of the craziest shows we've ever done, but I will say Europe definitely has the most unhinged audiences.
Yeah.
Like insane stuff has happened in France and Germany.
And also Japanese audiences, they are very it's funny because sometimes like you'll be playing and then you think, okay, everyone's like, they have to be respectful, and then one person will just like break it and go mad, and everyone's like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah, but they're also amazing and just really appreciate rock and roll. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I know in Japanese culture, like in the public, you're supposed to be very calm and very respectful, in the public eye, right? When you're in your private, you can do what you want. I have some friends that live there and stuff, but very cool. It's always good to hear positive stuff about the U.S. for sure, as we know all the struggles and weird things going on in our country today. So definitely. So let's talk about a little bit about the current tour coming up. You guys got shows already scheduled for the Rebel DNA tour, which looks great here. So we'll start with some tour dates. On June 7th, you guys are in Madison, Wisconsin, which is awesome. I think that's the first day of the tour, right?
Yes. Also, 7's a lucky number, or in my opinion. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, definitely cool. And then I was looking through also. So it looks like you'll be in Buffalo, New York on June 17th at the Cave, where I'm located. So definitely see you guys there again. You played here a couple of years back. You played here at Stamps way back in the day. Caught you back there. Yeah, and that place is gone, unfortunately. We don't have as many clubs around. And then you're wrapping it up on July 29th. From what I see so far, you guys are playing the Whiskey in Cali.
I jumped the gun a little bit. Okay, so we are going to play at the Whiskey, but I think that date might get changed. I was only told like maybe a few minutes before going on to this interview, but we are coming to the Whiskey, definitely.
But I know that more dates are
getting added. We're going to tour till, I think, September.
So, yeah.
And then we head out to Europe, UK, and then I think we're coming back in October.
To America.
Yes. Excited.
Excellent. Very, very cool. All right. So folks out there, check all the dates and keep an eye on soapgirls.com/tour. You can check out all the dates from these ladies. And the new single Running is streaming now. All right. So that wraps up this episode of Talk About Rock. Thank you to my guests today, Millie and me, for the Soap Girls. And to our audience, we hope you're doing your part by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Ladies, again, thank you.
Thank you.